All right. All right. We are live. I'm live, says the screen, says the video. It says you are live. So I'm going to say that we're live. Welcome to another exciting show, High Noon Live. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I love it when people say we have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's actually, I hate it. It's a pet peeve and I'm guilty of it. Just talk about it. Just get to the stuff that you're going to talk about. But I want to give a little time for some people to jump in, so that's why I'm just stalling. I'm just stalling for the people for coming in. Welcome, thanks for jumping in, guys. Thanks for tuning in to High Noon Live. I wanted to go directly to this little thing, this little nugget that just came out. The Red Dead Redemption remake. So there's a rumor that Red Dead Redemption is being remade. I am super excited about this because I love Red Dead Redemption, and that has always had a soft spot in my heart. And when Red Dead 2 came out, and they let you can ride, like they basically recreated the entire world from Red Dead 1. So I'm like, why don't you just put the DLC? Why don't you just make Red Dead 1? You've already got the voice acting. So you've already got, like, all of the actors are paid for. You should have the wireframes. What do they call it? It's like the Pinocchio, where the model, the animation. You take people and they act with like little green suits with tennis balls on them, and then that provides tracking for models. You apply it to your model, and then the model just does whatever the actors are. You should have all that footage from the game. So just take that footage and apply it to the models in Red Dead 2, and there you go. You've got both games already done. I don't know why they don't do it. Motion Strike says motion capture. Yes, it is motion capture. I was trying to there's a term for the actual model part where you make the model. You have to attach anchor points in the 3D model, and then once you do that, then you assign those anchor points to the tennis balls, and it's a method. I forgot what it's called. So let's just dive right in to this article. Let me see if I can't zoom in here, make it bigger. While fans continue to look for any and all signs regarding an official Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement. I don't understand that. I've never looked for. Unpopular opinion. I'm not crazy about the Grand Theft Autos. I tried to get into them, but I can't. I just can't do it. I tried to play the last one, and it was all right, but whatever. At some point. I mean, I guess the same could be said for Cowboys, but no, because there's only been 2 Cowboy games. But at some point, how many cars can you steal? And how different? I don't know. I guess it's the same thing with like the same Madden game keeps coming out. It's like, oh, did you get the new Madden game? What's the difference? Like, I know I'm not sounding like a gamer at all. It sounded crazy. Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, so it's always good to remember that Rockstar Games has another massive franchise to be excited about. Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online have been massive successes for Rockstar. So it's no surprise that people are wondering what is next for the Western franchise. If a supposed leak is to be believed, it seems that Red Dead Redemption may be the next game to receive the big budget remake treatment. Now I'll be okay. Let me backpedal. I would be more excited about this if it was Red Dead Revolver. I have long believed that Red Dead Revolver deserves a remake because that game was just glorious, and I love that. That kind of brought in the whole multiplayer looking over the shoulder with cowboys, and I liked that they had the you could take cover. It broke a lot of ground. It was a revolutionary game for its time. It deserves a. And if it weren't for Red Dead Revolver, you wouldn't have Red Dead Redemption. So they need to remake that. Let's see. Strike says, so when does High Noon Remake HD come out? We're going to be talking about that today, actually. I'm going to talk about a little bit, maybe not necessarily about that, but we will talk about that. Let's see. The leakers' comments have been rounded up in a Reddit thread. Well, if it's on Reddit, it must be true. I mean, lest we forget, the wonderful Reddit thread about High Noon being a scam. Though these rumors should be taken with a grain of salt, one Redditor points out that it would make a good bit of sense for Rockstar to pursue something like this. As they put it, if Grand Theft Auto 6 is years away, this would hold people over for a while. I mean, it should hold them over forever, really. I mean, if you put all of the Grand Thefts, if you put all the Red Deads out, I wouldn't even need Grand Theft. Though the leak is unverified, there are quite a few interesting tidbits for fans if it turns out to be true. For one, this leaker claims that Rockstar is bringing back several voice actors from the previous games in the franchise, including Rob Whitehoff. This isn't too surprising considering the fact that Whitehoff voices John Marston. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to play the game if it didn't. Though John Marston, I don't know what it is with the voices, with the voice actors, but I couldn't stand him when I played Red Dead 1. And then Red Dead 2, it took a while for Arthur to grow on me. I was not a fan of Arthur Morgan at first. But then the character himself kind of overtook the voice. He reprised his role as John Marston in the zombie horror spinoff Undead Nightmare. That was kind of fun. And Red Dead Redemption 2, where he played more of a supporting role to that game's Arthur Morgan. Speaking of Undead Nightmare, that entire expansion is supposedly getting the remake treatment as well. According to the leaker, Undead Nightmare will be included with the Red Dead Redemption remake. Well, that seems kind of like necessary, rather than being sold separately like the original version. Yeah, I mean that's what releases, like when they remake games like that, they'll generally like remake them as like a legacy remake. I remember when Command & Conquer did that, and they, when they remastered it, it was like the whole kit and caboodle, all the expansions and everything. This would be a cool way to give fans of the original a complete package. It would also offer folks who haven't played Undead Nightmare an opportunity to discover the spooky Western tale for the first time in high definition. But I mean, come on, was the tale really canon? I mean, is it really? Does it even? Okay, is it the complete package? I don't think it even needs to be there for the complete package. It's like an expansion. It's like High Noon's expansion. You don't need them. The game is the complete package, and then you got the expansions that are awesome. The leaker claims that the remake would have been more than a simple facelift or remaster. It will essentially be a rebuild of the first game running on the sequel's engine. That's what I said, much in the same way that Resident Evil 3 remake used a great deal of Resident Evil 2's remake assets. I just think that you shouldn't just don't rebuild it in a new engine. Like, well, you're gonna have to, but like, don't make a new game. Just take all the assets, make it a DLC and Red Dead 2, and then everything is compartmentalized. With the success stories like those and the recently released Final Fantasy VII remake getting rave reviews, it would make sense for Rockstar Games to try to get in on the action with their own high-profile remake. Unlike those other remakes, however, the leaker suggests that this release would be treated as something of a budget title, retailing somewhere around $40. Man, it's like they took a page right out of High Noon. It's like they're like, hey, what's this board game? Have you heard about this? Hey, Frank, you heard about this board game, High Noon? Sounds pretty awesome. I like what they're doing, giving away free copies away to 500 people and making it affordable. According to the leaker, the remake will also incorporate elements of Red Dead Redemption 2, such as the hunting and fishing. While the chores of Red Dead Redemption 2 have been a rather divisive element of the game, including them would be an interesting way to flesh out the mechanics of the first game, and you wouldn't have to worry about all including them if you would just put the game in Red Dead 2. Just make it a DLC. Guys, come on. Rockstar, get with the program. Lastly, the leaker suggests that the remake won't be the only new piece of Red Dead Redemption content coming out in the near future. Red Dead Online may be adding a Mexico update to expand on its map if Rockstar's higher-ups are excited about the progress on the remake. Considering the leaker's insistence that the remake is already in the later stages of development, it would sure seem like Rockstar is pleased with how it's coming along. That would be cool because I've watched the videos about how to get to Mexico in Red Dead 2, and I just don't have the time for it. But there's that one structure in the map that you never get to on the map, or I don't know, maybe you do. I don't know what it is. There's a structure on the map of Mexico that I really want to get to, so I may break the game to do it. Again, there seems to be a good deal of disagreement regarding how far out Grand Theft Auto 6 really is. There have been suggestions that the game is still relatively early in development, so we may not even see it until well into next console generation. Even the leaker here seems to think that the game won't even be formally announced until the summer of 2022. If this is the case, then fans have much longer time to wait than they didn't anticipate it. I just feel like Grand Theft Auto kind of left what it was. Now, I mean, when I played Grand Theft Auto, when I first played Grand Theft Auto, it was the overhead Nintendo game, or Super Nintendo game or whatever. But I mean, now it's gotten to the point where like you trade stocks or something in the game. It's like, what is this even about? A 2022 announcement would almost certainly put GTA 6 coming out. Who cares? Oh my God, who cares? Why are we still talking about this? Let's go back to Red Dead. If that's really how long fans have to wait, then it would be a nice consolation prize to be able to slip on John Marston's boots once again and take on the Wild West. It's not a consolation prize. It is the prize. Grand Theft Auto should be the distraction. The prize is Red Dead. That is an unpopular opinion that I'm totally right about. If the leaker's estimation of an early 2021 release date is correct, then hopefully we'll hear something regarding this remake soon. If it's for real, it's highly likely that Rockstar would want to get the hype train rolling as soon as possible. I get it. I understand that this is a rumor. People are like, why do we even care? But because it probably wouldn't be in the news. I mean, I just grabbed this one article, but there's plenty others talking about it. So I'm going to say this rumor is true. It's not a rumor. It's a legit. I would say it's probably an intentional leak. They probably meant to do it. Let's get some comments. Strike says, in the vast infinite expanse of the multiverse, everything is canon. Yeah, I guess that's true. Facebook user says, love Grand Theft Auto. Hashtag cheat Cydia, which he meant to say hashtag cheat codes. All right, well, there you go. I don't think that in a game called Grand Theft Auto, is it really a cheat code? I think that's kind of like serving its purpose. So I wanted to give you guys a quick update on production. High noon production time. We got the factory is going into production on the molds. So in order to make the miniatures, they have to actually create the mold for the miniature, and that's one of the most expensive parts of creating miniatures. So they printed out wax minis that they're going to use to create the mold that they'll then use to do the mass production. And they just sent us pictures of those models. So here they are. Here's the picture of the models. They look beautiful, super smooth, and the detail is crisp. My God. And another thing, what they did, what I had them do was, if you look, here's Elsu. And Elsu, this has always been bugging me. Elsu's arm has been bugging me. So right before they went into production, I had my artist. I finally sat down with my artist. I was like, listen, man, I need you to fix this arm. I need you to fix the arm. So what I had him do was I had him fix it. And so that's what he looks like. So before he's like doing this thing. It's really weird. He's like, I'm looking out here. And it's like, who does this? This is not it. So now I had him fix. He's raised his elbow like higher than his shoulder. He's actually like looking. He's like peering out. So it's a more natural look. It's just one of those small things that I'm really proud of. So that's the update for this. Jay says last minute arm alteration or LMAA. Yes, this is what they say in the military. Lima. This is something cool happened. So we're working on past Gagula Ridge, and I'm kind of tweaking the card decks. And so while I'm doing that, I had my artist who's doing the illustrations for the card decks while he's waiting for me to finish the cards. I was like, just go ahead and make the box art. Let's work on the poster for the box art. And what I wanted was, this is going to be like the first expansion. It's going to be super epic. It's adding 4 new posses, a whole like 14 other minis. So when you get this game, and it's not meant to be played alone. Like you have to have the core game in order to have everything to play past this expansion, because it builds on the core game. It's not a standalone. So if you were to play them all, you're going to have, you'll have 8 posses, you have 28 minis. And so, the idea is all these guys are like converging and fighting each other. So I was like, I want this poster, I want this box art to be like every single character going at it. And so he was like, yeah, kind of like, he showed me a picture of Infinity War, Marvel's Infinity War. And I was like, yes, just like that. Like you got like 2 of the big guys in the front, and you have a whole bunch of people in the back fighting. And so what he's doing is he's drawn all the characters as separate layers so that we can rearrange them and in any way we want. Shut up. Good God, computer. I'm working right now. I'm on a show. I'm getting a show right now. My gosh. So he's drawn it. So the arrangement, mind you, I'm not happy with, but you got to see this. So here is the artwork so far. Here's the sketch without any colors. And oh my gosh. Can I zoom in on this? I can, but I can only zoom in like that. So look at this. This is kind of the starting point. So really what you're going to see, this is the Sheriff Garrett here. And here is Colonel Rogers facing off. And then we start to see more of the expansion posse characters. So this is McCat. This is Davis McCat. You don't be confused. It's not the deputy. You can see this is his revolver buttstock, or his pistol, long range pistol with a buttstock. And he's facing off, like right now. It looks like he's facing off with Jethro Jenkins, one of the hillbillies, the hillbilly moonshiners. Behind him is Montaigne Azul, and then across from him is Major Mosby. And then you start to get to the other characters. I believe this is that's not the deputy. I think that's who is that? Is that Quentin? That might be Quentin. So yeah, Elsa. But I mean, we're gonna load this thing up with characters. It's gonna be chaos, utter chaos, pandemonium. But I just look at this. This artwork is incredible. This guy, he's gotten so much better. And what he's been saying is that he's been saying that that now that he's had time to work on, now he's had time to just focus on High Noon, he can stick to one art style. So before he was jumping between different art styles for different jobs, but now he's pretty much, I have him exclusively. So now he's really honing in on one design for High Noon, and it looks amazing. So I'm having him. I talked to him today. I was like, hey, okay, what if we just redid all the artwork on the core game, like all the main characters? Let's redraw them, because I mean, they're good. They get the point across, but they're not really where they could be. They're not at this level. So he agrees. He's like, yeah, he's like, I think they were kind of weak. So he really wanted to do it. And we got a timeline on it. And the factory said that we got the green light from the factory that it's not going to delay production. So because it's going to take 30 days to create that mold for the miniatures. So we'll be able to get all of the characters remastered. So we're going to have, we haven't even released the game and we're remastering the game. So to Strike's question, when does the High Noon remake HD come out? It's coming out right now, Strike. It's coming out before the original. This is how crazy we are. We are pioneers. We are trailblazers. And we do everything differently. Forget releasing a subpar game and then remastering it later and as a cash grab. No. We're remastering it now before it even hits the market, and that's the copy you're going to get for the $40, because that's how we are. That's how we do things here at High Noon. Jay says, I'm sensing that one day we'll get a full 6-part documentary on the making of High Noon. If only I had the foresight to do that, Jay. If only I had thought, hey, you know what? I should video everything that we're doing. I mean, I do these obviously, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do a reenactment or something. So let's jump right into the actual update. Strike says, I demand a real pocket watch for a timer then. Okay, so actually, what I'm thinking of doing is when Pascagoula comes out, when Pascagoula comes out, we are gonna do a Kickstarter for it or a crowdfunding. Maybe it's an Indiegogo, I don't know. We're gonna do a crowdfunding for it, and I'm thinking for that we will have the music box locket that Montaigne Azul uses as a new timer. And what I'm thinking is that it will flip out. It'll be closed, then you open it up, and then there's little slots and stuff. It'll be nice. I really, the sky's the limit on that one. But anyway, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, Strike. We got to make some money, man. All right. So, okay. So update the game, Tabletopia update. So, I pushed out a pretty big patch, you might say. Tabletopia High Noon 1.1, and I'll jump right into it. There's a lot of changes that have happened. If you guys have played it so far, then you've already seen some of it, but maybe you don't know the nuances. So here we go. So for right out the gate, let me see if I can make this bigger. So I've changed it so there's no models. I took out the models. I like the models. The models are the game. Don't worry. The models that I already showed you, the factories producing the minis. But for the purposes of Tabletopia, just because the models were produced at they're produced with such high detail, so that they could be great for printing. They were too big for Tabletopia. So in order to make them smaller, we had to I forget oh man, it's apologize or pre-apologize or something. There's a word for it. Anyway, it was going to require that my 3D artist stop working on models that are going to be the stretch goals, the Posse stretch goal models, so that he can work on that. And I'm not going to do that. I need him to produce the stretch goal models so that we can really show off these Posses that I've been sharing in the group, so you can see what these Posses are going to look like. So instead, I've replaced the models with these guys, and the thing is this is just what they look like overhead. So overhead, you'll see that you'll be able to like quickly see who's who, and it's their picture from their character sheet. So we can see that, you know, this is Elsu, right? It matches. Here's Kiya. Here's Kaitaka, and everyone is oriented to where the person's sitting. So, you know, whoever's sitting here with the lawman is going to see his law people that way, and so on and so forth. So here's the Rough Riders, and here's the Leroy gang. Now what happens though is, from this angle, this is what you see. So you get a really good. You can very quickly see who these people are, but when we start to twist, what we get, boop, we got pop-ups. So this is a cool way to add color to the characters. They are always facing you, so there is that. But here you go. So this is how they're going to look in the game on Tabletopia, I mean. For the purposes of this, we see that these are numbered. So 1, 2, 3. And then when we look up, they're also numbered 1, 2, 3. And there's your guys. All right, so that's the first update. And this really this makes it a lot cleaner, guys. This makes it a lot cleaner to play the game. I know that a lot of the feedback from the people playing was, you know, it's hard to tell who's who. This should solve that problem. Okay, so then we go over here, and another thing I've added is there's 2 music tracks. So there's a battle track and there's a theme or a suite. So the battle track is a little more high energy. These are entirely composed for High Noon. These are High Noon official tracks that speak to the theme and spirit of High Noon. So what you'll do is, if you want to play it, you just right-click on it and click play. Can you hear that? Can you guys hear the music? All right, so that's if you could hear that, that's the high. That's the I hope you're hearing it. I can't tell if you can hear it, but that's the high energy. If you want something more, more neutral, but still tells the story of High Noon, you have the High Noon Suite. And this music does loop. This music will just play until you tell it to stop. Gosh, I love it. I love this music. Come on now. Come on. I could just listen to this all the All right. Okay. So let me go back here. Oh, okay. So here you go. So there's the music. All right. Okay. Finally. So pretty. Okay. Sorry, music. Gonna take a pause. Okay. So final update. Hang on a second. What is that? Who is that? Somebody's messaging me. Okay, got it. All right, so final update is I've gone ahead, guys, and added. I've gone ahead and added the expansion loot, not the Kickstarter exclusive loot, but the expansion loot to the game. So you'll have your deck. These are the expansion loot. This says 6. I don't know why. There should be 5. Let me see something here. Let me confirm. Let me confirm my sources and make sure that this is right. There should be 5 new types of cards. 15 cards in each. 15 additional cards in each deck total. But let me just quickly go over here to the cards and make sure this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So there's 15 new cards, or 15 additional cards total, 3 of each type. So 5 cards, 3 of each type. So in the rations, we'll just quickly go over them. So additionally in the rations, you're going to get a deck. You can draw a deck of cards. You can discard up to 6 cards and then draw up to 6 cards. So this is really great. This is a really great loot to have if you just have a really crappy hand, or if you want to get through your deck so that you can shuffle it and go right back into it. This is a good card for that. Next up, we've got aromatic bitters. Basically, it's like the coffee beans where there's 3 turns that once you start it does a 3-turn tick, and it adds +1 to your defense. This is really good for people who don't have a strong defense. It's just great to just especially if you're getting ready to run in on on some action. Next one up is gold bars, and this is just self-explanatory. It's just an automatic 3 gold bars to your score. So this can turn the tide of a game, or it can solidify your victory. So right out the gate, that's what this does. And then of course, if you were to have this deck, and this will be produced, this is an expansion deck. When we introduce the economy, this is also a great way to get some money to spend on some items. And then the revival tonic. So the revival tonic allows you to bring somebody back to life and heal them 3 points. But they must have loot on them. They must be somebody who has loot on their person. It's because that marks them on the board. And that person, they can't give it to themselves. Like somebody else has to bring this to them to administer it. But this is a great way to bring your buddies back into battle. Okay. And then jerky. So jerky is a healing thing. It's not a lot here. And actually I need to change this. It's a free action. So for the record, this is a free action to use. But it's designed to be able to spread around. Like you could hand this off to your friends, and you could heal. You could essentially effectively heal 4 people 1 point, or 2 people 2 points, or whatever. It's designed to be. It's a share. It's designed to share. You're passing it around. Okay, so all right, that's what happened. So that is that's the new rations. Those are the new rations cards. The expansion deck for the gear is really a lot of holsters, a lot of stuff to carry more items. So all right, so the bandolier is allows you to hold ammunition cards. So basically what it does is it adds 2 slots to your inventory, but they hold ammunition. So if you draw their ammunition cards, you would put them on this card to say, oh, my bandolier's holding it. The quick draw holster allows you to, once per round, you can use the attack value of your defending card to counterattack. So you have this on your person, and somebody attacks you. Like you go around the whole table. If somebody attacks you one time, like once per round around the table, if somebody attacks you, you play the defense. You counterattack them with your attack value. So this is a game changer for again, for either weak characters or characters that have really strong attack value cards. Double holster is kind of like a bandolier. It allows you to hold 2 pistols. And this is really like, so this is not, you may ask, well, what I don't need, like, why would I need 2 pistols? Well, you might not, but what you can do is somebody with this holster can be grabbing pistols from other crates or from dead bodies or whatever, and then running them over to their friends and handing them off. So you're basically turning your character into a mule is what's happening. You have a rifle holster. It's essentially the same thing. It allows you to carry more than 1 rifle. I mean, how many times have we run into this situation, guys, where there's a rifle on the board, but you can't carry it because you've already got 2 cards, you already got 2 decks in your hand. This is great to carry 2. You can carry an additional rifle, and then the masterful holster. It adds 1 to all of your attacks. So you put this with your masterful revolver, and you basically have a revolver that attacks with 5 every time. And then if you were to then add so like, let's play this out. Like, let's say that you have your bandolier and you're holding 2 explosive rounds in there, and then you've got your masterful holster. Let's see, you've got 1 explosive. You got explosive rounds in your bandolier, and you have a pistol, and you've got this holster. So you got your masterful pistol, your masterful holster, and you've got explosive rounds. You're basically doing 8 damage every time. So there's that. That's the gear. So we'll put them there. And then finally, what we've all been waiting for, guys, here's the new weapons you guys are going to get to play with. So I really wanted to stick with like the experimental weapons. Just really colorful weapons for this expansion. So first up is the double barrel pistol. It's weaker initially than your masterful pistol, but every other attack is times 2. So right out the gate, it's a 6. Okay, so if you do it's like 3 6 3 6 3 6. But again, let's say that you have explosive rounds. That's also +3. So if you were shooting explosive rounds in here, you'd be doing 3 + 3. So that's 6. And then when you get to here, it's 12 because you're 6 times 2. So this thing is shooting. This thing has 3 12 attack-powered shots in this double barrel pistol. Very, very devastating. So you're gonna get to play with that. The repeater pistol. It acts as a repeater. It's a little bit less of attack value and a little bit weaker on the range. But it can fire. It can fire as a free action. And it shoots rifle rounds. So this will deal an additional point of damage if it deals damage at all. Now, it's important to note that because it's firing rifle rounds, you cannot use explosive rounds in it. Because remember, explosive rounds don't work with this ammunition type. But this is a great weapon if you don't draw the repeater, you can always draw this. Next up is the revolver rifle. So basically, it's a long range revolver. So it's a little bit weaker on attack, but it's got a range of 14, and that's pretty much what it has. That's pretty much the point of it. Then we have the bolt action rifle. It's an attack of 5 with a rifle round. It has 4 shots. It's it's a range of 20. This is a very devastating weapon. It's the longest ranged weapon that you can draw from the deck, and it does incredible firepower. And it's a rifle round, so it'll do an additional point of damage if somebody takes damage from it. And you get four shots off of it. So this is I've seen people draw this card and dominate the board, because remember, if one of your henchmen draws this card, your henchmen don't necessarily have a bunch of attack cards to begin with. So this is basically guaranteeing that a henchman will attack for 5 every round for 4 rounds. Is pretty much what it's doing. And then we have the percussion pistol. So the percussion pistol is an attack. It's a bullet attack. This is a very specialized pistol. So it has a range of 10. It does 3 damage. There's 6 shots that it has. However, it also has right in this little barrel down. This is a barrel right here. See this? This is a barrel, and this fires a shotgun round. So you have 1 shotgun round right in here. It's got an attack value of 5 and a range of 5. But you run up on somebody who's hiding behind cover. Remember, you ignore that with the shotgun shell. So this can fire through doors. It can fire through crates. It can basically just ignore cover. This is a really good pistol to have. Again, its base attack is not as strong as a masterful revolver, but the fact that it also comes with a shotgun round, very devastating. And with Pascagoula, there is the buckshot ammunition that'll be a new loot type. So you could have this pistol and the buckshot and modify that shotgun round. So there you have it, guys. There's your fun loot that you guys get to play with, and you got some music that you guys can listen to, and a cleaner board, and that's that. Now, guys, we are looking at. I've already given Tabletopia the green light to go ahead and publish the game. So the game will be hopefully will be published here pretty quick. Hopefully this week. We'll have this thing live, and you can just search for it on Tabletopia. We'll see. But there you go. There's the updates. There's all the updates. Strike says, I think you should only draw the same number of cards that you discard. Well, you know what, Strike, you can do that. If those are your convictions, I say stick to them. I say stick to your convictions. Free action heal 1, maybe use once per turn per character. Nah. If somebody wants to just cram 4 jerky strips down, I know that's how I eat my beef jerky. Is when I'm driving down the road, I'm just So I do not take my time eating beef jerky, and I wouldn't hold it against anybody else who didn't. So you can apply them. You can eat them all if you wanted to. Is that the pistol Joker used to shoot down the Batwing? Which pistol? The percussion pistol or the revolver or the repeater pistol? I don't know. And then Strike says, "Where's the punt gun?" Well, see, these items were actually created many moons ago, Strike, before you and I met virtually. These cards were created for the initial Kickstarter campaign, and they will be included in the relaunch crowdfunding campaign, and right now they are available to play with in the Tabletopia one. So there you go. The long barrel one. Let me see here. Let me do this. Let's see. Let's see. No. You're talking about this one? This pistol? I mean, it's just a long barrel pistol. I mean, it's based off of Colonel Mortimer's weapon in a few dollars more. It's just a long range. It's just a long range pistol. This is really what it is. All right, guys. Well, that's the updates. I was gonna do a whole other show. I was gonna do more to this show, but I want to get to playing this game, and also I have some work to do. So I'm gonna get to my work. But guys, these changes have been published. They are live. So head on over to the Discord server. Grab a link off the Discord server. Join up with your friends, or play, with people you don't know. Again, it's free to play on the Discord, or use the link and create your own game. I don't care. And then I'll let you know when it's published and it's live. But Tabletopia is where you go to get it. So get up there and start playing some High Noon and sharing some screenshots and war stories with your buddies. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.